Hello students, happy to see you again. Today we are going to discussing about another topic, another chapter, and that one is biomolecules. So biomolecules. In these biomolecules we have number of topics. The first one is carbohydrates. So what are these carbohydrates? In olden days, it is assuming that hydrated carbon compounds, hydrates of carbon are called as carbohydrates because most of the carbohydrates have the general formula as hydrated carbon. In olden days, hydrated carbon are called carbohydrates. Their general formula is CxH2O vitamins. CxH2O vitamins. Hydrated carbon compounds are called carbohydrates. But after the development of science, it is observed this general formula does not suited to all kind of carbohydrates. Now the carbohydrates are defining in another. So this is the most relevant definition. So what are the carbohydrates? Optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones. Optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones are known as carbohydrates. Are the compounds which produce them. So what is the definition of carbohydrates? Optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes and ketones are the compounds which produce them are called the carbohydrates. So here what they are saying, poly, number of hydroxy OH groups. So you have to observe more number of OH groups. Along with that one, if you find either aldehyde group or ketonic group, then they are called the carbohydrates. So what are carbohydrates? Optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes and or ketones are the compounds which produces these things are known as the carbohydrates. General formula of carbohydrates is CH2O N-types. General formula of carbohydrates is CH2O N-types. This is the most relevant general formula of carbohydrates, and this one is the definition. Now we are not following this general formula. So this is about carbohydrate definition. Now look at the classification of carbohydrates. Classification of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are of three types. Carbohydrates are classified in number of ways. Carbohydrates are classified in number of ways. One of the classification is basing on the one of the classification is basing on the units produced during hydrolysis. Basing on the units produced during hydrolysis. So, classification based on carbohydrate units. Classification based on carbohydrate units. Basing on the carbohydrate units, these carbohydrates are basing on hydrolysis units. Suppose if this carbon, this one considered as a carbohydrate, this carbohydrate when dissolves in water, if it produces only one unit of means it does not undergo any dissociation. So how many units you will get? Only one unit. So then such kind of carbohydrates are called as monosaccharides. Saccharum means substances which are sweet to taste are known as the saccharum. In olden days, these carbohydrates are called as saccharides. But after the observation that all carbohydrates are not sweet to taste, this classification is discarded, but the name remains there. So carbohydrates, another name for the carbohydrates are saccharides. Another name for carbohydrates are saccharides. When a substance dissolves in water, if it further does not undergoes dissociation, then such kind of carbohydrates are known as monosaccharide. Second one is oligosaccharides. These saccharides produces 2 to 10 units of carbohydrates units. 2 to 10 units of carbohydrates units are dissolving in water. Suppose I am taking a chalk piece. This is the chalk piece. This one is dissolved in water. If this one produces 2 units, if this one dissociates into 2 units on dissolution in water, this one comes into oligosaccharide. If this one produces 3 units, again this one comes into oligosaccharide. Like that, so how many units if they produce, how many units it has to produce? Up to 2 to 10 units of carbohydrates if it is producing, then such kind of carbohydrates are known as the oligosaccharides. Next, third one is polysaccharides. Substances which produces greater than 10 units of monosaccharide units. 2 to 10 units of carbohydrates on hydrolysis. 2 to 10 units of carbohydrates on hydrolysis are known as the oligosaccharides. These polysaccharide produces greater than 10 units of monosaccharide units. Polysaccharides produce greater than 10 units of monosaccharides. Greater than 10 units of monosaccharides. What are these monosaccharides? Carbohydrates which does not undergo any kind of further dissociation are known as the monosaccharides. Does not undergo any further dissociation. Produces only 1 unit of carbohydrate. Does not undergo any other dissociation. Does not undergo any other dissociation of monosaccharides. If it producing 2 to 10 units of monosaccharide unit, then it is called oligosaccharides. If it is producing greater than 10 units of monosaccharide, then it is called the polysaccharide. Okay, the simplest example we will discuss. Sugar. When sugar is dissolved in water, it produces one glucose unit, one glucose unit and one fructose unit. Sugar is sucrose. What is the name of carbohydrate present in sugar? It is sucrose. The name of carbohydrate present in sugar is sucrose. When the sucrose dissolves in water, it produces one glucose unit and one fructose. Produces one glucose unit and one fructose unit. So how many units of carbohydrates are produced on hydrolysis? 2 units of carbohydrate is produced. Then this sugar comes as oligosaccharide. The sugar comes in the part of oligosaccharide. If it is producing only 1 unit of carbohydrate, then it is monosaccharide. If it is producing greater than 10 units of monosaccharide, then it comes into polysaccharide. So this is about the classification based on hydrolysis units. So when the carbohydrate is dissolved in water, if it is producing 1 unit of carbohydrate, then it is monosaccharide. If it is producing 2 to 10 units of carbohydrate, then it is become oligosaccharide. If it is producing greater than 10 units of carbohydrate unit, then it comes into polysaccharide. Now look at here. In case of oligosaccharides, in our academy, they are given 2 to 9 units. In your material or some other books, it contains 2 to 10 units. Whatever present in academy, follow them. Okay? So you can write greater than or equal to. Next, we will look at the examples and some other things about this classification. These monosaccharides again are different types. Basing on the number of carbons, present in this monosaccharide. Generally, a carbohydrate begins with 3 carbon atoms. A carbohydrate begins with 3 carbon atom. The first carbohydrate is glycerol. The first carbohydrate is glycerol. Monosaccharide, which contains 3 carbon atoms, is called fructose. Monosaccharide, which contains 4 carbons, are called tetrose. Monosaccharide, which contains 5 carbons, is called pentose. Monosaccharide, which contains 6 carbons, are called hexose. If 7 carbons are there, they become heptose. So this classification is based on hydrolysis units. When a substance is placed in water, it does not undergo any dissociation, then it becomes monosaccharide. Means it is producing only one carbohydrate. If it is producing 2 to 9 units of carbohydrate, then it becomes oligosaccharides. If producing greater than or equal to 10 units, then it becomes polysaccharide. Look at the monosaccharide only. These monosaccharides again of different types. If this monosaccharide contains 3 carbons, then such kind of monosaccharide is called as triose. If monosaccharide contains 4 carbons, then it is called as tetrose. If monosaccharide contains 5 carbons, then it is called pentose. If monosaccharide contains 6 carbons, then it is called hexose. If monosaccharide contains 7 carbons, then it is called as heptose. Okay? Again, each and every one divided into 2 types, basing on the functional group. If this triose contains aldehydic functional group, then it is called aldotriose. If this one contains ketonic functional group, then it is called ketotriose. Again, this one again of 2 types. If this one contains aldehydic group, then it becomes aldotetrose. If this one contains ketonic functional group, then it becomes ketotetrose. Aldotetrose, ketotetrose. If a carbohydrate contains 5 carbons and an aldehydic functional group, then it becomes aldopentose. If it contains ketone functional group, then it becomes ketopentose. If the aldehydic group contains 6 carbons, then it is hexose. If this hexose contains the aldehydic group, then it becomes aldol. If it contains the ketonic group, then it becomes ketohexose. Enough two types, aldohexose, ketohexose. Heptose. Heptose if contains the aldehyde functional group, then it becomes aldoheptose. If it contains ketonic functional group, then it becomes ketoheptose. So this is about the classification of monosaccharides. Again, these oligosaccharides again of two different types. So I am clearing this one, monosaccharide part. I am clearing this monosaccharide part because we discussed about this thing. Now come to the oligosaccharides. So oligosaccharides, if this oligosaccharide producing two carbohydrate units, then it is called disaccharide. To produce how many carbohydrate units? Two carbohydrate units. 2 units of carbohydrates. For example, when sucrose dissolves in water, it gives one glucose unit, one fructose unit. So how many carbohydrate units, how many monosaccharide units you are getting? 2 monosaccharide units. 2 monosaccharide units you are getting, means you are getting 2 units of carbohydrate, hence it becomes disaccharide. It is a disaccharide. Sucrose is a disaccharide. Next, trisaccharide. Carbohydrate, it produces 3 units of carbohydrates, 3 units of carbohydrates, then it becomes trisaccharide. Example for this trisaccharide is raffinose. When raffinose dissolves in water, it produces 1 glucose unit, 1 fructose unit, 1 galactose unit. 1 glucose, 1 fructose, 1 galactose unit. Means how many carbohydrates it is producing? 3 units of carbohydrates it is producing, hence it becomes oligosaccharide. Like that, based on the number of carbohydrate units, these oligosaccharides are of different types. If it is producing 2 carbohydrate units, then it becomes disaccharide. If it is producing 3 carbohydrate units, then it will become trisaccharide. If it is producing 4 carbohydrate units, then it becomes tetrasaccharide. If it is producing 5 carbohydrate units, then it is become pentasaccharide, like that up to 9 carbohydrates. Now come to the answer this part also over. Now come to the polysaccharides. These substances on dissolving in water produces number of carbohydrate units. Substances which produces more number of carbohydrate units are known as the polysaccharides. So substances which produces more number of carbohydrate units are known as the polysaccharides. Okay. We will look at some of the examples of these polysaccharides. Cellulose, starch, all these are the polysaccharides. When cellulose undergoes hydrolysis, it produces thousands of units of glucose units. It produces thousands of units of glucose units. When starch dissolves in water, again it produces thousands of units of glucose units. Means that they are producing greater than 10 carbohydrate units, greater than 10 monosaccharide units, hence they are called the polysaccharides. Okay, this is the classification of carbohydrates. This is one of the classification of carbohydrates. So can you tell me what is this classification? Carbohydrates are of carbohydrates are classified in different ways. One of the classification is based on number of carbohydrate units produced on hydrolysis, means on dissolving in water. If a substance dissolves in if a substance does not undergoes any dissociation when dissolves in water are called monosaccharides. If a substance produces 229 carbohydrate units are called oligosaccharides. If a substance is producing greater than 9 units of carbohydrates, then it is called polysaccharide. Again, this monosaccharide is divided into number of types basing on the number of carbons present on that monosaccharide. Basing on the number of carbons present on that monosaccharide. If carbohydrate contains only 3 carbon atoms, then it is called triose. If carbohydrate contains 4 carbon atoms, then it is called tetrose. If carbohydrate contains 5 carbons, then it is called pentose. If it contains 6 carbons, hexose. Like that. Next, oligosaccharides. These oligosaccharides are classified basing on the number of monosaccharide units produced on hydrolysis. If 2 units of monosaccharide is produced on hydrolysis, then it is called disaccharide. If 3 units of carbohydrate is producing, then it is trisaccharide. If 4 units of carbohydrate is producing, then not carbon atoms. You have to, here we have to look at the units of carbohydrates. Okay, like that is their name. Again, polysaccharides. What is meant by polysaccharides? They produces greater than 10 units of carbohydrate units. Example is cellulose and starch, which produces more number of carbohydrates. This is one type of classification. Next one is carbohydrates are classified into 2 types basing on the taste. Carbohydrates are of 2 types basing on the taste. And there are sugars and non-sugars. Sugars and another one is non-sugars. Sugars means carbohydrates which are sweet to taste are called sugars. Which are not sweet to taste are called non-sugars. Example: Sugars example, sucrose, lactose, all these are the sugars. They are sweet to taste. Fructose also. Non-sugars, cellulose, starch, these are the non-sugars. So this is one type of classification. We will look at the third type of classification. Another type of classification. In this type of classification, carbohydrates are of two types. Number one is reducing sugars. Number two is non-reducing sugars. So, what are reducing sugars? Carbohydrates, or you can say sugars, which reduces Tollens reagent and failing solutions. Tollens reagent and failing solution. Sugars which reduces Tollens reagent and failing solution are called reducing sugars. Reducing sugars. Example for reducing sugars are monosaccharides, and disaccharides except sugar. Except sucrose. So what happens when with the Tollens reagent, carbohydrates which reduces Tollens reagent and failing solution are called reducing sugars. When Tollens reagents undergoes oxidation, that means carbohydrate is reducing, Tollens reagent is undergoing oxidation. It gives silver metal. When failing solution undergoes oxidation, it produces red color precipitation. Produces the red color precipitation. So, to Tollens reagent, if a carbohydrate is added, if you observe the silver metal, then that carbohydrate becomes reducing sugar. To the failing solution, if carbohydrate is added, if you observe the red precipitate, then it becomes reducing sugar. Example for this reducing sugars are monosaccharides. Another example is disaccharide except sucrose. Now look at the non-reducing sugars. Carbohydrates which does not reduce Tollens reagent and failing solution. and failing solution are known as non-reducing sugars. Examples for non-reducing sugars are sucrose, cellulose, starch, all polysaccharides. All polysaccharides are non-reducing sugars. So this is another type of classification: reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. Another classification also is there, and that one is based on stereochemistry. So another classification is based on stereochemistry. Based on stereochemistry, these carbohydrates are of two types: D configuration carbohydrates, N configuration carbohydrates. D configuration carbohydrates and L configuration carbohydrates. How you have to identify this stereochemistry of this carbohydrates? To identify the stereochemistry of carbohydrates, glycerol rate taken as U. So this is glycerol. In this glycerol, least priority chiral center, that means next to the next to the primary alcoholic group. So you have to look at the before carbon next to primary alcoholic group. In that carbon, the OH group is presented right hand side. So this is the glycerol. This is the glycerol. Okay. If a carbohydrate configuration resembles to this D-glycerol, then such kind of carbohydrates are known as D sugars. Look at an example. So this is glucose. In this glucose, this is primary alcoholic group, this is primary alcoholic group. Before this primary alcoholic group, here a carbon is there. On this carbon, the OH group is present at the right hand side. The OH group is present at the right hand side. Means this glucose configuration resembles to the D-glycerol configuration. This glucose configuration resembles to the D-glycerol configuration. Hence, this glucose is called D-glucose. This one also glycerol. But the OH group is present at the left side. Hence, this is L-glycerol. This is L-glycerol. The sugar which resembles to the configuration of this L-glycerol, sugar which resembles to the configuration of L-glycerol are known as L sugars. small mistake happened there. Look at here. This is primary alkyl group. Before that one, this is the least prioritized chiral center. On this chiral center, the OH group is present at the left side. And this one is L-glucose. This L-glucose configuration is resembles to the configuration of L-glycerol. So, by observing the configurations of the carbohydrates with that of glyceraldehyde, these carbohydrates are of two types, D sugars and L sugars. So, this is another classification. Okay. This is about the classification of carbohydrates. And next session we will discuss about the glucose structural isolation. Okay, thank you.